All right, credit recovery, marking period 2. Part 2, evaluating and creating expressions. So starting off with evaluating expressions. When evaluating an expression, you need to substitute the given numbers, the given values into the appropriate variables. So we're just switching out that variable and putting in the number that it equals to. And a lot of this you're going to be able to do on your calculator. Let me get my calculator open. There she is. I'll bring this out too. So for our first problem here, I have y divided by 2 plus x. And I want to evaluate that when x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. So I'll switch out the y with 2. So I'll say 2 divided by 2 plus, and then x is 1. Now, in my calculator, I can go ahead and say 2 divided by 2. You have to push this little arrow button here and say plus 1. And you get that equals to 2. Next problem, a little bit longer. I have 6 divided by 6 plus z plus x minus y. And I want to evaluate that when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 5, and z is equal to 6. So again, I'm just going to copy everything down. I have 6 divided by 6 plus z, which in this case is 6, plus x, which is 2, minus y, which is 5. Again, I can just plug this into my calculator. So I have 6 divided by 6, and again, you have to use this little arrow button here, plus 6, plus 2, minus 5. And I get that 4 is my answer. All right. That was evaluating. Pretty simple. With expression word problems. Starting off, of course, you need to make sure you're underlining the important stuff. This is including the question. Make sure you understand what the problem is asking for you. Because once when you know what the question is, you're going to be able to identify the variable a lot easier. Questioning to yourself, what is our unknown value? What are we looking for? It's helpful to circle any keywords. And really make sure that you're trying to imagine the situation. A lot of these are just little stories that you're trying to translate into mathematical expressions. Once when you have all that down, go ahead and write the expression. Boot this out of the way. We don't need this anymore. Go away. Go away. No. There we go. All right. In marking period 1, we made some keywords. This time, I've given you all these words. So, I'm recommending that you at least write them down so you know what they are. Don't forget multiplication and division. Starting off with something simple, translating algebraic expressions. The first one says I have 4 more than the product of 2 and a. So I see that I have more than here, and I have the word product. Well, if we go back to this table up here, I see more than is in addition. So I know that more than, I'm going to be adding 2 things. And then product, I see here in multiplication. So I know I'm also going to be multiplying 2 things together. So going through this, I see that I have 4 plus. So what 2 things am I adding? The product of 2 and a. So we'll be multiplying 2 and a. So altogether here, I have 4 plus 2 times a. This one's a little bit more tricky. I have 5 less than the quotient of x and 3. Less than, when we go up here, you can see that right there. That's a subtraction, so I know I'm subtracting there. quotient is right here. So we know I'm dividing. Oops, come on. When it says 5 less than, that means I'm taking 5 away from the quotient. So I will actually be having minus 5. Now what two things am I dividing? X and 3. So x over 3 minus 5, you could also say that's 5 less than the quotient of x and 3. All right, going into real world problems. First guy here. Every week, Ariana earns $58 from her part-time job and spends D dollars. How much money does she have left after spending each week? So first I want to go through and start highlighting my important information. I see that she earned $58. But then she spends D dollars. We want to know how much money does she have left after spending each week. So seeing from that, I'm seeing that we're using the variable D. And I know that D is equal to the amount of money she spends each week. So she's earning $58. So we know that she has $58. But then she's spending the amount of dollars. So if she's spending that much, she doesn't have it anymore, she's losing it, we're going to subtract that amount. So 58 minus D represents how much money she has left of spending each week. Peter is a salesman. He earns $200 per week plus $8 for every item he sells. Write an expression to show how much Peter will earn this week if he sells X dollars. So looking at my important information, I see earns $200 per week plus 8 for every item he sells. And we need to write an expression to show how much Peter will earn this week if he sells X times. So I see that they want us to use X here. Big thing is, what does X mean? So it says how much will Peter will make this week if he sells X times. So X must be the amount Peter sells. Lowercase p. Why are Peter and I so formal? Key thing here. I see plus, I'm adding two things together. I see every time he sells. That has to involve my X then. So I know that 8 and X are chilling together. The only number left is I have to add on that 200. So if I look at this step by step, he starts off with $200. And then every additional time he sells something, he'll be getting $8 more added on. This is the correct expression that represents what's going on in this situation. All right, last one. Becca got $50 on her birthday. She decides to buy books using the money. What a good girl. If each book costs X dollars, write an expression to show how many books Becca can buy. So, wait, what? How do we know how much she got? How many she can buy? The doy. Okay, so underlining the important information. Becca got $50 for her birthday. She's buying them on books. Each book cost X dollars. We want to write an expression to show how many that she can buy. So X is equal to the cost of each book. So if I want to know the cost of each book, No, I know what the cost of each book is. It's X. Never mind. If I want to know how many books she can buy, I need to take that amount that she has and divide it by the cost of each book. If they're splitting up the books from each price, I'll take 50 and divide it by X. You can see that from right here. All right, talk to me. Let's get started on this marking period part 2 assessment. If you have any questions, let me know.